The internet and technology are relatively new and are still unknown spaces not fully understood, especially by adults. Reading this chapter reminded me of a show I just started watching called Wisdom of the Crowd, which tells the story of a father who uses social media and crowdsourcing technology to try and find out who murdered his daughter. The show questions the dangers technology can elicit in audiences. Essentially, according to an article I found and will share with the class, it appears the show might be stirring up a moral panic. The internet and its inherent dangers are a moral panic which cause adults to work hard to limit the access and ability teens have to participate online. At the same time, teens try to negotiate this adult's authority to have the freedom to engage in what the online world has to offer. Some children, like Sabrina, are fearful of the internet and sexual predators who participate in it like their parents, while others don't see it as such a big deal regardless of the countless Dateline specials and school assemblies held on the topic. The problem is, the common stories told about the online world are horror stories, and while I'm in no way denying or disregarding the many horrible things that happen regarding children online, stories like this help reproduce this element of fear. They leave people even more scared and fail to address the reasons that prompt teens to engage in online settings in the first place, which also disregards the digital footprints that children leave behind can actually be very valuable to learn from and ensure that they stay safe. Teens like Tessa's friend from Boyd's chapter are often struggling in silence and turn to social media as a way to cry out for help through their posts and behaviors online. Although this may not be true for all youth, it means that we need to be on the lookout for it. Having said this, here's where I stand on whether or not your 9-year-old daughter should have a cell phone. I think that while that danger and moral panic is present and definitely a possibility, it only represents a small percentage of the lived experiences of children who have a negative experience online. When parents try to shelter their children and restrict them, it only reinstates this fear and neglects those who are severely struggling, many times because they don't have anyone or anyone else to turn to. As the final sentence of the chapter reads, we need concerned adults and young people to open their eyes and reach out to those who are struggling, and to address the underlying issues that propagate distracting myths. Fear is not the solution, empathy is. I think that if your daughter can participate in online settings and help even just one person, then the benefits might just outweigh the moral panic and fear instilled in society. If there continues to be more of an open dialogue between children amongst their peers, in schools, with adults, together about the risks and the benefits online settings pose, then maybe the internet won't seem as scary for children, teens, and especially adults, and maybe empathy can triumph over fear.